The Blues are going to the Stanley Cup. The Blues are going to the Stanley freaking Cup. By the way, if I look all messy and tired, I just woke up, so I haven't really cleaned up yet. But it's taken 49 years. 49 years, and the Blues are finally in the Stanley Cup. And this run was just incredible. The fact that this team is actually going is just... I'm not even sure if I do have a word for it. This team was in last place back in January. No chance of going. Pretty much at the time, their plans were just to go and make whatever for next year. See if they could do it next year. But they went and did the impossible. They went and got third in Central. It wasn't enough to get in first, but still, it was an incredible run. They went and beat, oh god, who was the first team they beat in the playoffs? I don't even remember anymore. But they beat them, then they beat the Stars, then they beat just San Jose yesterday, and now they're going to the Stanley Cup. I mean, it's just... I've never seen the Blues in the Stanley Cup before. The last time they made it, I was negative 21 years old. And my dad, I believe, was 13 years old, and my mom was 10, so... They haven't seen it since they were literally kids. And... 1970... It's not that long ago, but... When it comes to sports, it was a long time ago. Back in 1970, Richard Nixon was president. Gas was probably definitely a lot cheaper. What freaking else? It happened in 1970. It was a year after we went to the moon. It's been a long time. And I believe 1970 was the last time that when we went and faced the Bruins in the Stanley Cup. And they swept us. And that's the thing. The Blues have never won a Stanley Cup game before. Even though we went for 3 straight years, they have never won a Stanley Cup game. So this is the chance to go, not just do that, but actually win it. And this would just make a great sports story. The team that went from last place in the middle of the season to winning the Stanley Cup, it's like a movie. It might even be made into a movie at one point. And it's definitely got a lot more people more chipper because the Blues have always been popular, but I've noticed lately just everyone's wearing Blues gear. When I was at work the other day, probably there were tons of customers coming in Blues gear, and it definitely made me happy to go and see something like that because it's finally going and getting the team just to go to the games again and watch it and get engaged in it. And when you just have only one team that's always winning, that's the Cardinals, that's what makes it really good to go and see. And the Bruins are going to be a tough team. We know that. It's as much as I would like to go and see a sweep, I don't see it happening. And I'm not sure if I want to see it in 5 games because I want to see the Blues win it at home. But I guess winning in 5 games is better than losing, but still, I definitely would rather go and win it at home. So, it will be a really tough series, but there's a lot of momentum on this team. And I'm guessing probably most of the country is on their side. The only people who are rooting for Boston are, of course, Boston, some of its surrounding areas, and maybe Chicago. Possibly them. I mean, there are some fans who hate the Blues well enough that they just can't go and cheer for them, but this is probably the worst kind of game that could have happened for them. Because they hate the Blues, they probably hate the Bruins, and this kind of Stanley Cup is probably just making them puke. But most of the other country is probably rooting for them. Even the Sharks. So, I don't think they start playing until Memorial Day, but we're going to see the Blues play in June. That is going to be really strange. Just to see them in the Stanley Cup is strange. We're not used to it. Most Blues fans have probably never seen the Blues in the Stanley Cup. You had to be at least probably 53 years old to have any memory of it. So, most fans have not really seen anything about the Blues in the Stanley Cup, and yeah, you could watch archive footage, but still, no one has really seen it live, except for people who are 50 or older. I'm not really sure who's predicted to win. Most likely the Bruins, but there are probably, I think, a lot of people who do want the Blues to win. And yes, that's biased to say, definitely, but as I said, the Blues have never won the Stanley Cup before, and this is their chance. It's their first chance in almost 50 years. So hopefully they can go and win this. I know it's not going to be easy, but hopefully they can just go and do it. So let's go Blues. Let's win this thing for once. These games have been fun, and I'm going to be looking forward to the next few games. And unfortunately, the Cardinals are probably not going to be really popular for the next couple weeks, which is going to be really weird, but for the Blues winning, that's going to be really. So let's go Blues, and hopefully we can win this thing. And Boston, just lose, okay? Lose it.